Welcome back to Atlanta & Company. I'm Tom Sullivan. What are you doing for dinner tonight? If you're like a lot of Americans like myself, you're probably headed out to eat. But it might surprise you to know that when it comes to dining out, we spend, get this, $1 million a minute in America. Is that cost a little too hard to swallow? Yeah, it is. Experts say the latest trend in going out is actually staying in your home. And event designer and tabletop guru Marc Blackwell is here to show us you can savor a great meal at home with your friends and save money at the same time. And Marc, let me just tell you, this is absolutely beautiful. Holly and I have been salivating in your beautiful display. I know you've done a lot of great displays, tabletop designs for a lot of celebs like Cindy Crawford, Bette Midler, Jane Seymour, to name a few. How can we make an impression like this without breaking the bank?
Well, thank you. I'm glad to be here, first of all. But basically, my whole goal in setting a table is use what you've got. As you can see here, I actually went to Disco Kroger last night.
I love that.
And found all these great goods that, I mean, actually, almost everybody has a vase at home that they can put something in and make it look architectural. So everything on this table is edible, and you can use it later. First use it for decoration and later use it.
You know, it looks so simple, things that we never would have thought of to put on our table to have such a great impression like this. Is this one good way to add life to the table, kind of like?
Great way. And, you know, rule of thumb, always have something live on the table. Always have the wine accessible so that you don't have to get up as an entertainer, and also that, you know, your guest is comfortable enough to reach over and pour it for themselves. And then always have a light source on the table. Always have a really wonderful way to make the ambience beautiful. Does not have to be expensive. These are like $2 votives that you can get anywhere.
Yeah, what else can we do to set the mood? You know, candles, I love candles, and it's such a big thing now. There's all kinds of I don't really like fragrant candles. To me, would interrupt the wine.
Right.
And
never
the
want to use fragrant candles during a dinner party because you know you want the aroma of your food to be you know first and foremost.
Sure.
Yeah. And I am actually in town this week because I live in New York, and we're here celebrating an event called Dining by Design, which is given by DIFA, Design Industry Foundation Fighting AIDS, which is the largest funder of AIDS-related services and education in this country.
So you're going to I know you were going to be here on behalf of Rosemount Wines, and are you actually designing something for them?
Rosemount and 3 other great big sponsors are national sponsors for this event, and there's this wonderful event tomorrow from 11 till 2 called Table Taste and Hop, which is put on by Rosemount, so you get wine, and also these wonderful Atlanta restaurants like Trois and Midtown Kitchen, yes, and you cannot miss this. The tables are magnificent. It's a really wonderful event, and the cause, all the money goes to the Atlanta area. Okay,
that's fantastic. You know, let's say now that we have our table set up beautifully like this, and I love wine, as does Holly, my co-host. What are some tips you can give us with wine at a table?
Just make it easy. They don't have to be expensive. There are wonderful wines on the market today, just as in the Rosemount, their varietals are amazing. And just make it easy and give your guests the opportunity to taste something different they maybe have never had before.
And what about water bottles and wine bottles? Now, I know you mentioned leave the wine bottle on the table so the guests can access it and we don't have to get up and pour it for them, but I thought that was the right thing to do.
The right thing is to make your guests comfortable and feel like they're at home, because that's the bottom line here. I mean, you don't want somebody coming into your house and feeling like, you know, they can't move. So I think, you know, for my money, I want them to be able to pour it for themselves if they want to.
Right.
I mean, you know, there are those situations that are very formal, and, you know, maybe you won't go down that road then, but the reality is that most people who are just, if you want to do this on a regular occasion, you don't want to wear yourself out. The idea is to just make it easy for your guests.
And make it easy for, I think, as a host, too, because when I'm throwing a dinner party, it seems like I stress myself out. How can we remember just to keep it simple?
That's right. That's right. That's right. And, you know, the water is the other idea. Water always on the table if you can do it, and you know, if you don't happen to drink wine, you know, put your iced tea in a pitcher on the table and have that also available for your guests to pour whenever they want.
And I guess you have to remember how to set the table correctly, you know, because there's like, you know, I inherited my mom's sterling silver collection, and there's like, you know, 14 forks, and they're all different sizes. And does that really matter? Is that important these days to have everything perfectly placed?
Again, it's about the formality of the situation. If it's a very formal situation, then yes. If you have 15 courses, yes. All that's important, because at the end of the day, you may have not enough utensils to finish your meal with. But in most cases, we don't worry about it. It's about, you know, a salad fork or a soup spoon and that kind of thing. We do worry about them being in the right place, but it's not about all that clutter, you know, because we just don't eat that way.
Okay, so let's talk about hosting. You know, what's the most important thing that a host should remember?
Make them comfortable, make the ambience wonderful. Use something real on the table, because you want it to be approachable and feel real, and just make sure that, again, it's easy for both of you, as you said, for the host and for the guest.
And, you know, one thing I'm really bad at, maybe people watching have the same problem, I'm always working in the kitchen while my guests are sitting in the other room. Is the best thing to do for all the food, get it prepared ahead of time?
I think it's the best. I do this all the time, and I'm telling you, you know, I've been in the same boat many times where I'm in the kitchen almost during the whole meal. And so the most you can do ahead of time, the better. And, you know, so you need to learn a little about your food preparation to make sure it all doesn't have to be done on the spot. And, you know, get it ready and ready to go for when your guests need it. Well,
you know, you mentioned Dining by Design, and I know it's going to be a great event tomorrow, right?
Tomorrow, there's a cocktail party tonight. It's at a place called Maison Mure Gallery off of Monroe Drive. A wonderful venue. The tables are world class.
That's what I hear.
Unbelievable. I mean, a lot of wonderful Atlanta designers and, you know, from all over the country, people have come together to put this together. And if you can make it, you absolutely should not miss this event.
You know, Holly's going, and she's sitting with the artisans people, and she said, just bring your camera. You'll be in awe, not only of the setting, but the food as well, and the wines.
Yeah, it's really a blast.
Well, Mark, we are grateful that you came to us, and we love this, and we can get all this wonderful, this is your designs, right? We
My
can get
designs,
these at Fragile, a store in town.
At Fragile here in Atlanta, and then we're on NeimanMarcus.com, and we have MarcBlackwell.com, and, you know.
Sure. Well, excellent. Well, this table is beautiful. We're going to try to leave it in our Atlanta Company kitchen and see how long that lasts. Well, for more information on Rosemount Wines,
don't break anything.
You got it. Visit RosemountsEstate.com, and if you'd like to see more of Mark's suggestions for hosting a dinner party that won't break the bank, log on to MarcBlackwell.com. And this segment was paid for by Rosemount Wines.